Hello, everyone.
Hello.
It's my first time here, and actually it's the first time I've ever read this piece publicly. So I'd like to share it with you. My name is Towery, and this piece is called Unsad You, Return to Forever as I Am. And I call it a parable. Just to give you a brief story about it, when I was in college, I had an English teacher by the name of Marilyn Oglesby, and she taught us something called automatic writing. And this was like about, maybe almost 20 years ago. And so I did about 4 pieces that dealt with automatic, Marilyn Oglesby was in it, with automatic writing. And this was one of the pieces that came out. Unsad You sits on a rock in the abyss along the river's rage, sunning himself as he had done since the beginning of this story. Finally, it is time. A little bird chirped his rejoice as he pined away the precious moments that would lead to the precipice that was looming ahead. Is it time to wade in the water with the children clapping? The jumping off point always brought ominous promise because it was always tough to straddle the great void. One foot on ever-changing reality while the other nestled in the potential of powerful possibility, and powerful possibility was his now that he had finally become Unsad You. The sign, the answer glowed all around him. The sun shined a shimmering warmth, not falling on half the planet, but the entirety of the world. It had been this way for 3 weeks now, and all of the greatest scientists had gathered to try to discover why. Here before, such a phenomenon had been considered impossible. With the rotation of the planet around the sun for millions of years, half the planet was always sunlit while the other half lay in abject darkness. But no more. A light shone, illuminating everything, everywhere, all the time. Great mathematicians sat at complex computers continually calculating and configuring. Several of the most respected astronomers searched the heavens for the unearthly source of luminosity to no avail. Secret satellites with their most sophisticated high-tech gadgetry sent sensors far and beyond, traveling the universe, yet no knowledge was returned. Psychics searched the heavens with their minds, penetrating astrally, finding no answer. Only the utter darkness, the silent, warm secret of outer space still unrevealed. In the inner space, in Cairo, Egypt, a blue-black, smooth-faced figure sits at the entrance of the Great Pyramid of Giza. It is Unsad You. His dress is unusual in style, celestial in aspect. Unsad You stares into the heavens, the universe in a cosmically mesmerizing trance. Where did he come from? Some people are heard to mutter amongst themselves. He is not threatening. His aura seems one of joy and love. The word spreading. People are coming from every corner of the earth just to behold him. What's most striking about him is just to look upon this being brings laughter to your heart, a smile to your face. The feeling that you can dance forever invades you instantly, and you do dance without constraint, prancing like a wild mare once captured, now set free. The crowd is growing to millions, then thousands of millions. Unsad You rises. It seems as though the crowd sets out a unanimous, uproarious laughter upon this cue. Unsad You smiles though he has no mouth. The crowd chants and sings songs until they seemingly meld into one melody, sounding as though they are singing, "I am," over and over again, continually emitting a powerful emotion. A bevy of reporters swarm him, laughing and singing their questions at him, thrusting microphones and video cameras toward him at every conceivable angle. "Who are you?" they ask, having dispensed with their norm for the dramatic. "Where are you from?" Unsad you, he thinks, "I am." And begins to dance a jig, honoring the East while facing West. The millions begin dancing too, in joyous glee and magnetic harmony. In an office, in the not too distant past, sit the uniforms in a smoke-filled room ripe with ambition. The uniforms have formed sullen faces. They wear these masks so that they may solicit agreement with one another and harvest fear from the masses. They turn off their barking radios and their shouting televisions, then turn to face each other's emotionless eyes. In this room, there's little love for joy. Hope is the enemy hunted. They are hard and calculating spirits, focused on control and motivated by the callous fingers of greed. "This is preposterous!" they all exclaim in disgruntled countenance and agree. The entire world is laughing, partying, and dancing, prancing, and singing. Who said they could have fun? Care, share. We must put a stop to this something, to this something has given them hope. Hope. They were certain they could destroy it, and they would not hesitate to destroy the millions to do so. At first, the uniforms had convened their meeting because there was no longer darkness on the planet, and no one could explain why there was light where and when darkness had traditionally reigned. Now there was another fear. It was the fear that the people who once feared them no longer showed fear for anything at all, not even fear itself. Uniforms agreed something would have to be done about Unsad you. So, they laid out plans and devised schemes, organized attacks designed to plummet his glee, thereby reinforcing their positions. The greatest machines of annihilation were created, dusted off and primed for action. They summoned their commanders and issued specific strategic orders designed to destroy Unsad you and implement fresh fear. Unsad you stood at the entrance of the great rock, peering inward out from his inner verse. From the millions, a myriad of seeking eyes took him in, searching him for reason. Somehow they knew that Unsad you was not merely himself, but the thoughts and emotions of each and every one of them happening separately and at the same time. Unsad you felt a strange sensation. Dutifully, he squatted, defecated just outside the entrance. Millions strained to get a whiff of his excrement. This purge. Moved, they all squatted and began purging themselves of their foul innards. Suddenly from the north, a politician appeared, attacking astride a gold-plated vulture, circling him in a smooth southern glide. His manner was supreme, lasers being directed from his mouth. They were intended to surgically dismember Unsad you, as they shot from his mouth, measured by his tongue. The gold-encrusted beast descended steadfastly, and it seemed they would succeed until Unsad you smiled. The millions witnessing followed suit in a gigantic rainbow. issued forth from their mouths. A stone wall of goodness and love, so thick, so impenetrable, that the vulture spewed its tainted oil and immediately retreated back to the abyss in the rock where the suits awaited were, there to hide with them and to gnash their teeth together angrily, flipping over the tables of their feast in humiliation and defeated greed. The millions were becoming now. Their singing was soon joined by sirens, far off coming near. Airplanes now whizzed overhead, some dropping leaflets of scattered reasonings. They floated down like torrential rains. Unsad Hugh reached out and down, picking up a child who was giggling with uncontrollable glee. He lifted her upward towards the heavens, holding her high while laughing. He too overcome, doubles over in mirth, letting go of the child. The floating begins as the child turns somersaults in the air, soaring over the joyous multitude, all admitting themselves and who they are more powerfully than they had ever done before. Swooping, she grabs the hand of another child, hoisting him high into the giggling sky, filling with more joy to join her there. The more joy he feels, the higher Unsad Hugh rises. Higher and higher thoughts are taking him towards the stars. Love, the agent of his flight, now undulates. These were his perfect gifts given to him from God, emoting and laughing, now collected below him. God below him and within him, though huge, was now a swirling mass of vibrating humanity, poised to enter inevitability. The jets found him floating in the sky near to the stars. Caught in their crosshair rockets, bore down on him, creating star-spangled explosions too sweet to describe. Crashing against his existence, bullets hit their mark continually as massive fire and smoke consumed his person. The uniforms smiled and conferred with each other in celebratory haste, ringing the chimes of their servants for more cognac, truffles, and blood-curdling oil. Dutifully the servants approached, apprised of an impending ascension. Their televisions winked at them before running off. More explosions in the sky, more smoke to cloud the eye everywhere. Through this, the chanting is steady and clear. Now there is no fear, though each person sings their own song, which is oh so different and melodically intoxicating. All that is heard from the multitude is one voice continually chanting, I am. The smoke is clearing. The chanting rising in song becomes a cadence, a soulful driving cadence. The song building to an unforgettable melody. A frenzy ensues. Unsad Hugh thinks, I am. While he smiles at God within him, settling in for the duration come to stay, because here at last was a place worthy of living in forever. God below him was now in the now, and simply being the realization of Unsad Hugh's expectation. Poised they were, tottering on the brink of finally becoming. The planes scurry away in fear of retribution, confirming they could do no harm as the uniforms toss out their watches and began to beat themselves with fresh batches of $1,000 bills, crawling down under their heat in a fruitless attempt to hide themselves from what they already have become. Unsad Hugh, floating towards the multitude, does not care. I'm sorry, this is pretty long, you guys. Floating to Unsad Hugh, I am until it is done. Unsad you takes their hands, the hands holding their hearts, which are beating feverishly without a mouth. He speaks. Our Father says, I am is good, I am is the universe, I am is worthy, I am is Alpha, and I am is Omega, and that I am is, and that is all I am has to be. With this knowledge, I am you, you are me, I am the light that lights our world. The song weaves upward and outward, enveloping the world, the solar system, the galaxy, the universe. I am, I am, I am. Booming out and becoming, now being. The sparkling, reinvigorated spirits, leaving no crevice untouched by the light of their great love, emanating from their song, written from their hearts, because they were no longer themselves, but Unsad you, and Unsad you and them had become I am. Unsad you's eyes are shining joys as they swirl up with emotions enveloping them. I am, swirling up and away. Unsad you swirled up, grasping the hands of millions, and Unsad you returned to forever as I am.